Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Today, we're going to be working on the first spaceship to get up there. Of course, you can get up in the space without needing a ship. All you need are a few hydrogen bottles that are completely filled up, and you can literally fly up. But what you want to do is get up there, survive, and find ice and other ore from asteroids that you'd like to find. And that's what we're working on today. Building your first spaceship. Because this thing, even though it's ugly as shit, and the next episode we're going to upgrade it. We're going to make a better miner. This thing is only atmospheric. It can't go in space. So, just like how I built the other one. Once I get to the right section. Some days I do miss using the keyboard mouse because it's so much faster just to type out what I'm looking for. I'm going to use this level. Of course, that means I need steel plates. And we'll grab some. Switch to small like that, and we're going to drop it right there. And slide it over. Make sure nothing's damaged too badly. We're going to add it to our build planner. Okay, I want to turn just slightly more that way. That way it's a bit more lined up. And we're going to come into here in the control panel. And we're going to lock it in place. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to place our cockpit on top of it. So we're just going to use the basic one because, you know, why not? And of course, it's going to require more steel plates. Isn't that lovely? Oh, here we have the large one, and then we got the small one. You see quite a bit of difference between the large and small. The large only has the conveyor on the bottom. Small has two on the back, one on the bottom, and one on the front. While the big one only has one on the bottom. Have this perfectly aligned here, just like that. Believe it or not, you don't really need the bulletproof glass because it's not important, but it helps to have everything up to, well, 100%. Well, still have silicone. No. Sometimes it glitches out, and you have to literally take the component out and then put it back in. It's so annoying. I never have a problem, ever, on the computer. It's only ever on here. It kind of drives me a little up the wazoo. All right, next we are going to put on the hydrogen tank. Once again, I really wish I could. They had some kind of search option that I can do with the controller, because this would be so much easier than slowly going through every single thing trying to find that one that you're looking for. Alright. Not exactly what I was looking for. This is closer to what I was looking for. The H2O2 generator. Alright, you see that... I fell through the hole. Didn't mean to do that. You see that there's two small conveyor ports on this side and one large one on that side. That's what we want. So we're going to line the two small ones up. We're going to put it there as soon as we get another freaking steel plate. Everything requires steel plates nowadays. Make sure that they're lined up properly. Because believe it or not, oxygen and hydrogen are very important when you're going up in space. Okay. Next, we'd actually want to place down a hydrogen tank. Small one anyway. This will allow us to have enough power, enough fuel when we go to and from, to be able to actually go up there and back. And I believe going to here, yep, you can see it's starting to fill up because of both this oxygen generator right here and the one we have over here. It's pumping it through these conveyors into here. And when it's done, it'll roughly have 500,000 liters, 500,000 of hydrogen, which is good. But gosh darn it, we're going into space. We're going to need to know where to find our ship. So, we'll go over here. Definitely not high tech. Here we go, utility. And we're going to do a antenna. Personally, I prefer to do it that way, but also there's a bunch of different options, from parabolic antenna to laser to regular one. I think those are the only ones right now, because the compact one is for large grid only. which we'll talk about that here soon. So, we're going to place that one there. And we're going to weld her up. What should we name this ship once we get done welding it all? Because it'll broadcast the ship's name so that you can see it. Especially when you come in, you hop into the cockpit, you press on the touchpad, come over to control panel, and you go down. You don't go down, you go up to the antenna that is white, and you hit show ship name. And I don't know about you guys, but I always max these things the fuck out. So it'll go roughly out to 50,000 meters. So the question is, what is this grid's name besides static grid 1440? Let's just do this. Let's go. I'm going to name it the Lancaster. Lancaster Mark 1. So now it'll show you. So you can literally fly off, do whatever at an asteroid and look around, and you'll still be able to see. Well, the next important thing to get and put on here is the ore detector. Very important. It's important because it'll tell you where some of the ore is. So we'll weld that up quick too. Now. We're going to want to be able to, okay, when you're in a cockpit, you can't zoom in. Sometimes you can see stuff if you zoom in, especially if you're trying to look for asteroids in general. So, what I like to do is I like to put a camera. That way I can take a look around and everything. So, in reality, I'll hold that down, and I will go through all this nonsense until I find the camera. I apologize, everybody. I'm really sneezy today. And coffee. Let's see. Next, we want to do is we want to work on the what you call it? The hydrogen thrusters, because we need thrust. We need a lot of thrust. Especially to escape gravity completely. We're going to need quite a bit. Am I out of interior plates? Okay. So what I like to do is I'm going to put one there, one of those there, and one of those right there. Now, what that allows me to do, more or less, is I'll put some T's here, some T's there. So, boom, and boom. Always the motors. Always missing the motors. Nothing else. Just motors. So annoying. Alright, so since we're going into space, we can't use atmospheric, and we do not have the stuff to make thruster compositions for ions. So we have to go with hydrogen. Now, about you guys, but I like the industrial ones or the ones that are literally sci-fi. Of course, you guys don't have to do that one. Do whichever one you guys think is the coolest. And I need steel plates. But again, steel plate of Palooza over here. So, I'm going to put this large one back here. I'm going to go in. We're going to have to switch to the small ones. So I'm going to put one there. Put one there. One there. One there. 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 In space, you need 5 or 6 directional movement. I can't remember which one it is. So you need to be able to go up, go down, the whole works. Go forward, go backwards, etc., etc. Of course, I designed my ships to be like that, I guess you could say. To have the extra thrust when I need it, because I've been there when I didn't have enough. So we're going to build up this big one first. And another thing I haven't fully explained yet. You guys haven't noticed difference in color here? These are actually blast doors. They are actually impervious to the fires from hydrogen thruster. So that's the reason why I placed them there, so that we will have something to keep it protected. I don't have to keep repairing it over and over and over. Downside is I wasn't sure how big I was going to make this thing. Try and make it compact for you guys because, well, to be frank, when it comes to consoles, if you see available PCU down there at the bottom, the lower that gets, the more laggy and less performative the game is. We only have 100,000 PCU to or player count units to build anything on console. So I try to make my ships small, compact, but also able to do the job when I'm playing console. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys here with right now. Okay, so we draw all that. We're going to come back here and we're going to roll this one up. As you can see, it has that fire right there. That fire looking right there. That means that it actually has power. And sadly, we can't see the charge level too well, but this tank here is almost fully charged. But that shows that there is fuel to be used. So we're going to just go ahead and put the max number we can into the build planner here. Put them there. Now, if you don't want to follow my design, you guys can do whatever you need to do. Follow Splitsy design. He does them really well. A lot better than I do, to be frank. But this is a pretty basic one that I would happily be using to get up into space. If that makes sense. Okay, so we're just going to keep welding this up. I think there's a storm happening, but I'm not entirely sure. It's heavy rain. Okay. Not a big deal. Put that stuff in production. Always large tubes. Always never have enough of it. Instead of just falling off one side, it decides to fling me all the way to the other. Kind of makes it a weirdly shaped, kind of making it look like there's flowers budding everywhere. But hey, it works. Honestly, if I thought more through, I could have put thrusters on this one's and made it kind of more uniform, but oh well. Now I know for next time. Now I know for next time. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes in production quick, and well, as y'all can tell, the assemblers are really quick, especially with those speed modules on there. And we'll just keep welding while that's going. I actually forgot to do something. So that's gonna have to come off. Now weld this up quick. Hey, there's something very important that y'all need to have if you're going up in space and something bad may happen. I completely forgot about it. Left it on my notes until now. I remember. You're going to want a survival kit. Me personally, it's gonna change a lot of what I was gonna do. You're gonna want a survival kit, but it's also gonna change a lot of how I'm gonna build this. I'll be right back. Now, I corrected my mistake. I was able to add in on the survival kit. Made it a bit bigger than what I was intending to be, but that's okay. You always remember, when you got drills, remember to test the connection. Because you can see here, we're loading up on ice. I believe that should be filling up as we're going. Of course, we're mining up more than what it can use up in the meantime. But yeah, here we are. Now, I found it, if you're going to be going forward, good thing to do is just to make a group of the reverse thrusters and then turn them off. It saves you on hydrogen in the long run because you don't have to hold going forward in order to go forward. You just turn it back on if you want to reverse. Just like that. And of course, here's the camera. Not entirely sure how to zoom in when it comes to oh, there we go. Holding both top triggers and going back and forward with the left joystick. Bit of an odd view, but it works. So, we're actually using up more hydrogen right now, going and testing this thing, than it would be to go up in space. But right now, we're going to literally just cruise on over to the base. Have you guys get a good look at how I have this set up. And then we're going to land, attach yourself to the base, let it charge the battery and the hydrogen, and then we'll head up into space. We definitely have plenty of get up and go with this. So we'll come in for a landing. Alright. So when I come in here, I'm going to find the warfare battery I put down. All the way down near the bottom. Because why not? And we're going to switch it from auto to recharge. That way it recharges real quickly. I'm going to let the hydrogen get recharged, and I'll be back when all that's ready. Now, you can see that electricity is completely charged up and everything. So now we just got to go and... oof, crap. I can't stop yawning and stuff. There we go here. We're going to turn it back to auto. And I keep hitting the wrong one. I'm so used to the lock unlock thing there. And we're going to do that, and we're just going to point our biggest thruster straight down. We're just going to keep on going. Up and away. I actually still think I might actually still have some ice aboard. So you can see where the kilograms are losing weight. I believe that's because it's using up ice that's in the hold to try and recharge the tanks, but we're using so much trying to escape the atmosphere. That's not quite working. But that's okay. Around here. Got a better view. Now you'll see right above where it says O2 high, warm, it'll say peak gravity. That's planetary gravity. The Earth-like planets have 1G, which is pretty much 1G Earth gravity. And as we're escaping gravity well, it's slowly going down. But until we fully escape it, we're going to be using up ice the entire time to not fall into the gravity well. So we're going to keep on going until we hit 0.00, and you'll start seeing stars fly by, and that means we're fully out of the atmosphere, fully out of gravity, and completely in space. We're actually doing pretty good on ice right now. And once we fully escape, we won't have to worry about ice too much because we'll literally let physics do all the work. We'll more or less be, what's the word for it? We'll get up to speed, and then we'll just float. We'll let physics use our velocity to take us where we want to go, which is we're going to be going and looking for asteroids because we're going to want to go take a look around what we have. Specifically, we're going to want to look for ice so that we can fill our hold up again, so that the tank can get filled up and everything, and so on and so forth. Most people would put a cargo container because they want to bring a lot of stuff back. Because sometimes you can get platinum, uranium, that kind of stuff. Speaking of an asteroid, there's one right there. So we'll head that way. That'll take a little bit, and I like to aim a little bit off to the side that way. As soon as I exit the, there's another asteroid, pretty close. As soon as I exit the, the gravity well, and I start floating, in case I don't stop in time, I can float by and not slam straight into it. I've done that a few times, and trust me, it sucks. I am going to have to do this quick so I don't starve to death while being out here. And I am kind of hoping that there is ice there, that way we can get ice and fill up the hydrogen tank and go from there. Plus maybe, if we're lucky, we can get some platinum or uranium or depends on how lucky we're going to be. Well, it looks like we got roughly 3 asteroids fairly close together right here, so we'll see what we can get. It's roughly about 42,000 meters up that we actually will start losing the gravity well effect. As you can see, we're down to 0.13, but it's not going any farther. Sadly, not really, because we're kind of going at an angle now, so it's going to go down slower. We'll probably just do a flyby, check out to see what I can sense even with my ore detector as we go on by. But yeah, we're not. We're still. If we decide to make a base there, we're still gonna be within proportionate of the gravity well. But let's see what's on it before we decide to whether or not we want to make a base on it. If that makes sense. Magnesium and silicone, not exactly what we're looking for, but you know what? That's okay. We have 3 more to go to, so we're just gonna eat 5 more. Holy crap! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That group here, that's pretty good. I wish I had that in on the one I've been streaming on because it took me forever to find one asteroid with some good stuff on it. Like, there's another decent set over there. Oops, I did not mean to turn off power. Awesome. Can't wait until we're fully out of the thing. Is that ice? Oh, it's ice. Let's see what this one is. As we go by, gold and silicone. Nice, nice. We're gonna go a little bit farther out now as we're escaping the thing. There is a more efficient way to escape the thing. I cannot do it with the controller. It's literally you tap the keyboard that makes you go up. That way you're constantly going up, not losing power, but you're also not wasting hydrogen. With a controller, it's a lot more difficult. There we go. You guys starting to see those stars fly by? That is, ooh, we're actually almost out of ice. That is us in space, guys. We are now officially in space. See what this one has. Hopefully ice. I'm praying and hoping for ice. Because we need ice. Yeah, that's silver. Ooh, ice. We're going to stop here. We're going to kick on our reverse jets. We're going to maneuver around until we can get at the ice. And we're going to pretty much mine as much as we can.
Meteor storm inbound.
Hopefully not get hit by the meteors. And I forgot to put lights on this thing. That's okay. Get out. I'll turn. My lights should be enough for now. But yeah, it's ice combined with silver here. So we're gonna have to dig right here. Until we see that, which is ice. I'm gonna try not to kill my character here. I'm gonna hold down left trigger and hit circle and it's on. We're getting quite a bit of stone along with the ice, but there's not much we can do about that. All we can do is just keep getting the ice as much as we can. And pretty much lets the O2 generator refill that tank up. And I mean, it's filling up pretty good right now. All right. There's one there, one there. Next one here. There's one there, one there, one there. Another one up there. One over there. I think we'll go for this one over here. And like I said, we'll more or less just turn off our reverse thrusters here. Zoom out here. Turn off the reverse ones. We sped up a bit. Now we're just letting our momentum bring us forward. No need for any extra hydrogen use until we get stopped. Yeah. Lovely water. Water, water, water. Water, water, water. And I didn't bring enough food up here because I didn't expect to be out here this long. So, yeah. And why are we only showing small grid? I thought I changed the name of this thing. I don't know. There we go. But here we are, everybody. We're up in space. We already found ice. Now we're going to go take a look at another asteroid that's fairly well out there. We're going to see how well this is going, because I know this is going through this stuff pretty good. Alright, we're going to pretty much buzz these and see what's on them. And we're going to go from there. Magnesium, and nothing else. What's this one? Nickel. Magnesium, nickel for these two over here. And more magnesium over there. But as you guys can see, we easily stopped. We're still at 38% hydrogen. We're going to go take a look at this one over here. It's going to be a short little jump. It's magnesium. That's the one that down there that we first encountered. Came from that one. Let's go to that one over there. So we're going to get up to speed, and then we're just going to coast the entire time. Alright, it's a little boring, but hey, what can you do? And we're going to stop it, and we're going to just let the hydrogen, we're going to keep letting the hydrogen recharge, and we're going to go from there. I'll be back as soon as we get to there and the hydrogen is recharged enough. Okay, this is a good example of the stuff you can find in space. Like, this is an entire asteroid made of just ice. Like, this is key for survival type thing if you ever want to live in space. It might be a decent place to set a base. But as we're at about 42% on the hydrogen tank, getting close to anyway, we're actually going to speed up and we're actually going to head back to base. Yes, I did not bring enough food for this. We're going to let our momentum take us forthwith back to the surface, which is the reason why I'm going to save my hydrogen until we get there because, well, Frank, once we get there, we're going to need all hydrogen we can get to stop. So, we're going to head on down there, back to this glowing blue orb in space. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Space Engineers. We finally made we're finally an engineer in space. But now we're headed back down to the planet we're calling. And if you guys have enjoyed your time so far, up to this point, please give me a like and subscribe and leave down a comment what type of tutorial you guys would like to see next. And we're just about, yep, we just entered in the gravity well. You can, down where it says peak gravity, you can probably start to see it slowly starting to grow. It's now at 0.06 gravity, which is barely anything, but it's getting me. But I will say that is one heck of a view that we're having right now. Whether it be in video games or in real life, seeing a planet from space, I honestly don't think hardly anything else compares to much. Well, there's a few things, but very few. That's the reason. Sorry, one. I got curious about what the temperature was here, and it's a bit chilly. Not too bad, but it's a bit chilly. All right, we are 0.12 gravity, 31 kilometers from our base. Then again, we built in more or less a highland compared to a lot of the lowlands that are actually on this planet. Now, if you guys actually want to see me actually build a base, like a asteroid base or space station in space, I'm going to have to destroy the base on this planet so I have enough PCU to do it. I can't fully pull it up right now, which sucks. But let me see. Looking for a compression tree. And since we're in the ship, we can't look at it, but we're at around 98,000 PCU left. On my base, I'd want to make down here to be able to go up there. Like I would make a platform to start my space station, and then I'd just float it straight up in space, and then make it a station. As complicated as that sounds, that's what I would do. I'd prefab it on the ground, and then I'd send it up. Because I can easily access all the materials I would need on the ground easier than I could in space. The only thing is, we'd have to spend a lot of time in space to find an asteroid with a very big deposit of uranium. Because space stations have to have power generation. You know, unless you go outside or go somewhere above a planet where it's constantly getting sun 24/7 and has solar panels going around it completely all the time, you need to have a reactor in order to power it. That's just a given. So that will have to be something that we're gonna have to work towards if you guys want me to do that. I'm gonna let you guys decide that. Let me know down in the comments. Yeah, I know this little trip here can be quite a bit boring, but now you kind of get an idea that we're going straight down, straight at the base. We're evened out at least, but yeah. So we're just gonna keep on. We're over 13,000 meters up in the atmosphere. We are 13,000 meters above the nearest mountain peak anyway. 13 kilometers away from the base. You know, this is actually one of the most compact, most efficient spaceship builds I've ever done. Usually they turn out janky like the miner did. But the next episode, like I said, we're going to create a new mining ship that will be more that'll be more aerodynamic. We'll be able to get more materials, the whole works. Might even build a what should we call it, crap. Yeah, might even build a rover to drive it around on, but then again, flying is more efficient than driving there and driving back. So I might just build a flying ship that houses like some kind of small mining freighter. And if we take a quick look at stuff here, we actually have a decent. We're near a ice lake there, and there's an ice lake over there that's a lot larger, but I like the one over here better for some reason. Just do. We are flying straight up the ground. We got 46% on the hydrogen tank, and it's still filling up more. I got 16,000 ice to go through. Right, so we're gonna want to start slowing down here soon. Roughly right about. I'll kick it into gear. Let the 8 small thrusters we have there take over a lot of that, just so we can slow down. Oh! Crap! Don't do that, folks. I thought I gave it enough time. Apparently not. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you do in Space Engineers, something is always going to go boom. It's just a fact of life. So that happening, that would have happened any normal day anyway. I kind of lost a few of my side thrusters, quite a few of my side thrusters though. Oh well, I'll rebuild them. Not a big deal. Yeah, well, I got some repairing to do and some rebuilding, but there we have it, everybody. We went into space and we came back. Mostly okay. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week with another one. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful week. God bless, and I'll catch you the next one.